my name is Julia Agarwal, and I'm a senior at Simsbury High School and one of the co-presidents of the MLK in Connecticut Committee. The MLK and CT Committee is an organization dedicated to preserving the legacy of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., educating the community on his time spent in Simsbury, and continuing to spread his message. In 2010, a group of Simsbury High School students set out to research Dr. King's time in Simsbury. By collaborating with advisor Rich Curtis and joining forces with the Simsbury Free Library, the students were able to confirm that Dr. King had, in fact, spent the summers of 1944 and 1947 in Simsbury. They created a documentary detailing their discoveries through both interviews and research. Immediately, the documentary gained local, state, and even national recognition and is still being recognized today. Including the nationally acclaimed documentary, MLK and CT was recognized through TV interviews, newspaper articles, and more.
My name is Josie Kodak, and I'm the co-president of MLK and Connecticut Committee. After the success of the documentary, the students began to make plans to build an MLK memorial outside of Simsbury Free Library, wanting to have a permanent place to display MLK's story and legacy in Simsbury. In January 2021, the memorial was unveiled. Our current members are focused on creating educational programming and continue to fundraise to develop the memorial. As a senior, being on this committee has a great impact on me, and I'll be heading to HBC in the fall, taking this experience with me. We are grateful to be able to be part of such a special project, and we hope that through the committee's effort, the community will be inspired by Dr. King's legacy and sit up for what they believe in, and lead a life of inclusion and acceptance.
Hello, my name is Maeve. I'm a senior at Simsbury High School and a member of the MLK and CT Committee. I wanted to take a second to speak to you all about something Dr. King valued above all else: words. Throughout his lifetime, Dr. King always showcased the power of words in creating peace, meaningful change, and justice. He believed that words could be, and always would be, empowering and encouraging. Words encouraged discussion, which in turn encouraged peaceful endeavors for change and for justice. Words transcend people, places, and time, and today, Dr. King's words continue to inspire us and continue to bring about change he could only dream of.
My name is Ella. I'm a senior at Simsbury High School and a member of the MLK and CT Committee. Simsbury High School has launched the Encouraging Words campaign, in which we use the inspiring words of many, including Dr. King, to honor him, his legacy, and his dream by encouraging future generations to create change in the same way he did. To showcase the power of his encouraging words, the members of the MLK and CT Committee have created a slideshow dedicated to sharing his words, what they mean to us, and how they continue upholding his legacy well into the future. While we could only sample a few of Dr. King's many inspiring quotes, we believe that they showcase some of the qualities most important to him: peace, freedom, love, kindness, service, and equality. We hope that you find fulfillment and inspiration in these quotes and are encouraged to uphold his legacy by creating the change you want to see in the world. Promoting peace is one of the ways that Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. strove to create a better future. Throughout his work as a reverend and a social rights activist, Dr. King narrowed his focus on what he called positive peace, which he defined in his letter from Birmingham jail. King wrote, "True peace is not merely the absence of tension, it is the presence of justice." In response to this quote, a student member of our committee said that in order to live in harmony, we cannot ignore the hardships of our community, but we must determine the best way to fix them with the principle of justice. Justice is the ethical, philosophical idea that people are to be treated impartially, fairly, and properly. In the tumultuous times Martin Luther King Jr. lived in, as well as the ones we live in today, it is of dire importance that we maintain a sense of positive peace and justice. In order to promote peace, we must utilize these principles in the ways in which we conduct ourselves and treat others. When we are tempted to lash out or respond negatively when confronted with opinions and ideas that contrast our own, we should remember the example of Dr. King, who chose the peaceful path to fight for civil rights and equality. Remember what King said, "Peace is more precious than diamonds or silver or gold."
Dr. King famously believed that the goal of America was freedom. This was an idea he saw within a divided nation and was able to manifest to create a passage for the freedom and equality of millions in this country. Today, his hard work is woven into the daily lives of every single American because of this vision. Dr. King fought for freedom through every step in the Selma to Montgomery March, in every nonviolent protest in Alabama, and in every word of his famous "I Have a Dream" speech. As Dr. King said in his letter from Birmingham jail, "Oppressed people cannot remain oppressed forever. the yearning for freedom eventually manifests itself. Dr. King insists that the oppressed people in segregated America had waited long enough, waiting through decades of being told their time would come if they just waited quietly. But Dr. King decided that the time had come and gone, and that freedom in America was long overdue. Dr. King went on to state that freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed. His strong leadership thus achieved the freedom that had to be demanded. This fight was not without struggle, but he maintained his philosophy of peace, while his protests were often met with violent attacks. However, in a demonstration of his moral integrity, he kept his peaceful campaign for civil rights and founded the freedom intertwined with American life today.
To Dr. King, love was more than just a feeling or a sentiment. It was a moral imperative dictating how one should live their life. Throughout his lifetime, he preached that love was the key to creating connected, equitable communities and to creating the United States he always envisioned. While at the University of California, Berkeley, Dr. King asserted that love requires us to stand up for ourselves and our beliefs, and is the only way to stand up to hate. As we continue to build the community Dr. King imagined right here in Simsbury, we must always remember to embrace our differences with love and to keep this love in the center of our lives. One quote about love that members of the MLK committee have found especially impactful is Dr. King's famous quote, "I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear." In fact, one student wrote that, to her, this quote discussed how hate puts a great invisible weight on those who choose to keep it, and poses the question, why would anyone choose hate over love if hate bears a burden too great? Another quote MLK committee members found inspiring is the quote, "Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend," with one writing that love has the ability to alter one's perception of who is the enemy, that through love, compassion, and kindness, it's possible to turn a hostile relationship into a friendly one, and that we all must keep this in mind in order to achieve beneficial change in the world.
Dr. King embodied kindness throughout his life, from always giving everybody the benefit of the doubt to marching in support of equal rights for all people. He always remembered to remain kind and humble in all his endeavors. In order to live our best lives, we must be actively working to achieve things for others. That way we can live our fulfilled life and encourage others to chase fulfillment in the same way that we and Dr. King have. One quote about kindness that members of the MLK committee found empowering were, "We must accept finite disappointment but never lose infinite hope." I think this quote is super important as it reminds us that when things don't go our way, we can't let it drag us down. It is important to not just take things as they are, but embrace the possibility for change, and to never forget what better things are possible. With that in mind, we can achieve great things just like Dr. King. Despite the challenges and difficulties we will face as a country, as professionals, and as individuals, if we have hope in our hearts for a better future, we will be able to get through tough times with a better tomorrow. Another quote MLK committee members found that was inspiring was, "Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for the others?" That's the question. What are you doing for others? I think this quote message means not to deride people from falling to serve, but a gentle reminder of its importance that a simple act of service and kindness possesses the power to transform lives, but inspiring us to serve and bring kindness to others and brings the community closer together.
Hello, I'm Daniel Gomez, a senior at Simsbury High School and a member of the MLK in Connecticut Committee, and I'm honored to speak about service and equality. For Martin Luther King Jr., service was more than just acts of kindness. It was an expression of selflessness and a way to create lasting social change. He believed that by helping others and advocating for justice, individuals could make meaningful contributions to the collective good, ultimately helping to build stronger and more equitable communities. In Simsbury, service is crucial in supporting local needs, promoting equality, and strengthening our community. By engaging in acts of service, we honor Dr. King's legacy and work toward a more compassionate and equitable society for everyone. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter, emphasizes the importance of speaking up and taking action for causes that hold significance. True service isn't about just performing acts of kindness. It's about advocating for systemic changes that improve lives. Silence in the face of injustice allows inequalities to persist, whereas service challenges those injustices by taking a stand and amplifying the voices of those who don't have the platform to speak for themselves. Dr. King also said, "Everybody can be great because everybody can serve," highlighting that greatness is defined by selfless action, not wealth or status. Service requires no special qualifications, just compassion, and willingness to help others. It is through service that we create meaningful change, inspire others, and strengthen our communities. For Martin Luther King Jr., equality was the foundation of a just society where everyone could enjoy the same rights and opportunities. He believed achieving true equality required change and personal commitment to fairness and justice. In the Simsbury community, equality is essential for building a culture where everyone, regardless of their differences, can thrive and contribute to helping our community be the best version it can be. Dr. King's quote, "We shall overcome because the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice," reflects an enduring belief in the eventual triumph of equality and fairness. While the path to justice may be slow and challenging, the quote emphasizes that injustices and inequalities can and will be dismantled through perseverance and collective action. The quote, "We must live together as brothers or perish together as fools," highlights the necessity of unity and collaboration in the pursuit of equality. It stresses that true progress cannot be achieved through division and that all people, regardless of race or background, must work together toward a common goal of justice and mutual respect. On behalf of the MLK and Connecticut Committee, we thank you for listening to today's presentation. We hope it has inspired you to reflect on the powerful legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the importance of his message. We encourage you to visit the MLK Memorial at the Simsbury Free Library and to visit mlkandct.org. This memorial is not just a place of remembrance, it is a symbol of the values he fought for, and we believe that it is a connection with his vision and reminds us of how we should all contribute to making this world a better place. Thank you for watching.